All right, good evening, my Plexus partners. Tonight we have Betsy Collard, and she is a Emearld ambassador. And we chatted a little bit at Leaders Retreat, and I just wanted to suck her knowledge out of all the things that she kind of went through. Because she's going to share her story, but how she got herself out of this rut and made it up to a dual status. And Betsy, we are on the call just for I think we have 30 minutes or so on this call. But at the end, we'll probably ask you some questions if you're open to just being transparent and honest with us. They might have some questions for you. And they got to hear Hannah Kelly last week, and they really enjoyed just hearing her story and know that we're not alone. The rut and things that we get into at all levels, not just, maybe gold or senior gold and things like that. So we're hoping that we learn some really valuable things from you tonight. So I'm going to let you go ahead and just introduce yourself. And I also want to share with you guys that she is doing a huge favor for us. She's a sideline sister, and she's actually not even on Living the Pink Life. Correct, Betsy?
Nope.
She, her upline is no longer working the business, so she kind of
never was working the business. Never.
Oh, never.
Mm-mm.
So she took off and ran, and she found some leaders, Alyssa and Corinne, and kind of gravitated towards them, and they started running with it. So Betsy, go ahead and share with us a little bit about you.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Misty, for having me on your call. It's a huge honor anytime I'm asked to share about my journey. My name is Betsy Collard, and like Misty said, I'm an Emearld ambassador. I've been with Plexus for 4.5 years. I have 3 small children, 5, 3, and 1 years old. And I'm just going to start out by sharing a little bit about my journey. Like Misty wanted me to kind of tell you guys a little bit about my ups, a little bit about my downs. And then I'll give you a few tips that I truly feel like have been the pivotal moments in my business. So I started Plexus in May of 2012. And when I started, I, like most people, wanted just the health benefits. In fact, for me, it was baby weight. I wanted to lose that extra baby weight. I had my first child. And no, wait, did I start in 2012? That doesn't sound right. I had my, okay, that's true. 2011, I think. I'm not sure, y'all. 4.5 years ago, whatever year that was. I'm not a math genius. That's one thing I'm not good at. So anyway, whatever year it was, I started out to lose a little baby weight. I had my first baby. My pregnancy was extremely difficult. I had high blood sugar. I gained 70 plus pounds, and I was used to being a size 2. Size 2'4". I'm 5'2", so 70, 80 pounds on a 5'2" size 4 girl is extreme. I was miserable, absolutely miserable. As long as I could remember my whole life, I struggled with chronic anxiety and depression. And I always just wished that I could feel normal. I had friends that felt normal. Why couldn't I just be normal? And so when I joined Plexus, I had no idea that it was so much more than weight loss. And I immediately started seeing results with the products, but I also immediately saw the business opportunity. You see, I've never been in a business like this before. I didn't even know anything like this existed. I don't know if I was living under a rock all these years. I don't know. But I did not know the concept of network marketing. I had no clue. But what I am is a sharer, and I'm one that if I like something or if I even think I'm going to like it, I'm going to tell somebody else about it. And I'm sure that this is kind of similar to how you guys started out too, some of you. So before I had even gotten my kit in the mail, I had already posted on Facebook. That's all I need to do. And I had already made 100% return on investment plus made $120. So I was like, you know what? Maybe this could be something. I started to really see the business opportunity at that point. and my vision for what could possibly be started to happen in my mind. I was working outside of the home at the time, but I also really wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I had my first baby. I was having to bring her to my in-laws every day, and it was just very upsetting for me. I did not want to miss those milestones in her life. And so within 3 months with Plexus, just sharing on Facebook, telling a few friends and family, I was able to supplement my income to be a stay-at-home mom, which was a huge, huge victory. But at that point, I wanted more. I wanted to go all the way to the top with this. And I really thought that I could do it a lot more quickly than I did. And I think that's kind of what most all of us think, right? When we join, we're like, woo, I'm going to be Emearld in like a year, and it's going to be awesome, and there's not going to be problems, and you just don't even know, right? You're just like in this like daze of like, this is just like amazing. And I have to tell you that my journey has had its many ups, but it's also has had its difficulties. And that's what I'm really going to share with you today is some of the difficult things that I've gone through to get to where I am. It took me 2 years to go senior Ruby. Like Misty said, I never have had a working upline. The first upline that I had was 6 levels above me. That was actually really working the business that I even knew. But I never allowed that to be a crutch for me. I never allowed that to be a stumbling block for me, rather. I never even really thought about it. Now, there's been moments that I've been like, well, that would be nice to have an upline for this. But it just never was an excuse for me. It was never an excuse for me to blame anyone for my lack of success or even my victories. All I had was a hope, a dream, and the little old school success kits, not the cool ones we have now. And, I had a strong why for my children. I wanted to be able to stay at home. My why continued to grow. My why became because I wanted to eventually my husband to have time freedom. Now my why is so big that I want to build an orphanage and have a connection from the U.S. to the orphanage to connect people here to those orphans. And so my why has evolved, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. So I went senior Ruby in 2 years, which I felt like took eternity. I had all these friends that were joining. I would make friends in Plexus, and then we'd become friends, and we were at the same level, and then they would go all the way to the top, and I'd be sitting here like, what's up? Like what the heck's going on? And so I get to senior Ruby, and I thought I had just made it. Like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be Emearld. It's right around the corner. Things are going to go like, here is senior Ruby, and I'm about to go to Emearld, like right here. So much to my dismay, I get to senior Ruby, and I get stuck like Chuck. Not only did I get stuck, but I went backwards. I went backwards from July to December back to senior gold points, okay? That was a really pivotal moment in my journey. That was a moment in my journey where I was at a crossroads, and I had to decide if I was going to discover what this wall meant and move forward, or if I was going to allow that to defeat me and to lose all ground gained in the past 2.5 years and just quit and allow myself to be discouraged. Well, I guess you see what I decided. I decided to put my combat boots on, throw a rope over that wall, and climb the wall. I had to make a decision at that point that I was going to hit my goals no matter what I had to do. I really had to start over, y'all. I really did. I had to start over, first of all, in my mind, second of all, in my heart, and then third of all, in my action. I had to get a new game plan. I had to figure out what was working and what wasn't working. I made a goal that December, and I will tell you this, I was senior Ruby. This is how rough things had gotten, Misty. That December, I think we recruited 3 people. 3. That December. Devastating. I mean, like, I don't even know. 3 people, that's not bad if you're silver or gold, but senior Ruby, 3 people. I was just like, what am I going to do, right? I guess you could say I had a few meltdowns and cried myself to sleep quite a few nights and felt sorry for myself and wondered how I was ever going to get out of this. But I heard a call from now Diamond Ambassador Tara Castaneda that she had did, and it was the Lord. All I can tell you is God used that call to help me, because she had gone through a similar situation, and she came out of it. So that gave me hope. She and I talked over the phone, and she gave me some good tips. And one of the things that I did was I had only a few people left in my team that actually remotely kind of wanted to do the business, right? They were just, I would say 30% in. Excuse me, 30% in, maybe. So I had to start working with those people. I started from scratch, literally. Not only did I lock arms with those people, but I started going into massive recruitment mode. I started finding new person after new person after new person. I mean, I'm talking like I went crazy. I think one month I sponsored 7 people. And I was just like helping people go silver. Another thing that I did was I taught my team, and this took a lot of effort because I had to create duplication, but I taught every person that came onto our team, no matter if they were levels 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, because keep in mind, we weren't doing this before, so nobody on my team knew how to do this, but I taught them exactly how to get people on 3-way chats with me. I would teach them to become the connector. Okay, so there's a term in network marketing called bird dogging. I learned this term a few years ago at Mastermind conference in Orlando, Florida, from Orrin Woodward, and he said that when you get in a new distributor, ambassador, whatever it is in their company, they need to know one concept, and that's bird dogging. And what that means is that you teach them to go out and find people and connect them straight to you. They don't need to know all the information. They don't have to really know diddly squat. They're just connecting their network to you like a bird dog. So a bird dog goes out in the woods and they point their tail and they raise their paw, and that signals to the hunter that there's birds around. And in essence, that's what you're teaching your people to do. They don't need to go out there and tell everybody what the Plexus product has and what the pink drink has in it and all that stuff. They need to be posting on Facebook. They need to be reaching out to people and immediately getting those people connected to you. And so that's what I did. I started from square one. I started creating momentum by doing that. And guess what happened, you guys? I was able to close these people like other people wouldn't, out of inexperience. And what started to happen was more people started to go silver. And as I'm teaching my people how to do it, then that's duplicating down. And now I don't really have to do three-way. I only do three-way chats now with my new people, with my level ones that are trying to go silver. Okay. And then once I do that and help them get to silver, then they already know how to do it by the third one, because I ask the same questions, I answer the same exact way, and I create a duplicatable system. But that was one of the things that really helped to build momentum when I was starting over was, number one, recruiting more people, number two, helping them get to silver, and number three, teaching my team about bird dogging and three-way chats. That was really simple and effective. The other thing we started doing, and I'm sure you guys do this already, are three-way welcome calls. I can't tell you enough how critical three-way welcome calls are. I literally hold my team accountable in a very loving way for three-way welcome calls because they're so important for the onboarding process. It's not enough for you to just train your new person. It has to be you, your new person, and your sponsor, because there needs to be a three-way connection there. There needs to be Misty. Say Misty's your upline. Misty needs to be able to have that connection with your new ambassador because there needs to be a strong relationship. A threefold cord is not easily broken. That's in the Bible, and it still holds true in this type of business, because whenever Misty's connected, let's just say you're busy one day or they can't get in touch with you, then, and I'm just using Misty as an example, then Misty has that relationship with them. They feel more connected. And when people have a relationship, or this is relationship marketing, when there is that strong relationship, they're not leaving. they're going to have a hard time leaving when there is that threefold cord, okay? That's something else that started creating that duplication, that momentum, and that retention, okay? So those are just a few little technicalities for you, but let me get into the real meat and potatoes of what I really want to talk about. So I get to Emearld, you guys, okay? You would have thought I had it made. I was pregnant with my third child. I gave birth 3 days after I turned Emearld, okay? I was literally practically in labor while I was going Emearld. I was that determined. Where there's a will, there's a way. But I go Emearld. Excuse me, y'all. I'm battling a cough. And guess what? Sister hit another wall. Another one. Another wall. I'm like, really? What the heck is going on? Like, I'm not supposed to hit any more walls. I'm in Joel now, right? Wrong. I get to Emearld and I hit a wall that was huge. And I will never forget this wall. I'll never forget it because I know that God allowed it in my life so that I could learn something that I needed to learn that was so crucial for not only my plexus business, but for me. And that was my mindset. I don't know how I even made it to Emearld with the mindset that I had, but I tell you, I made it to Emearld on pure grit and grind. Like literally just hard work. Had I had a better mindset, I probably wouldn't have had to work as hard as I did, right? So Leslie Zan, who's a coach, a business coach, and I love what she says, that mindset is always over skill set. So you can have all the skills in the world, but if you don't have the right mindset to go along with that, then your skills are going to be really hard to tap into. They're not going to be as effective. But if you just have a few skills and the right mindset, meaning that you speak to yourself the right way, that you're confessing the right words, that you believe in yourself and you truly believe that you're awesome and you have a lot to offer people and you have a confidence about yourself, then it doesn't matter if you haven't read all the John Maxwell books in the world, it's okay. But mindset trumps skill set, okay? I realized that once I got to Emearld and I hit another wall, that there is something really deep going on in my life because I kept hitting the same wall, which all adds up to one thing: me. Not any other person, not having an upline, not my team, no one else. It was me. And that's hard sometimes, y'all. It's hard to look in the mirror and not blame other people and to look at yourself and not blame yourself, but to do a little introspection and to say, you know what, maybe there's something deeper going on here that I need to work on. And so I really, really prayed about it because keep in mind, this is my second huge wall. I was feeling super defeated again. I was feeling super discouraged again. And I was really at a breaking point. Like, Lord, what is going on? Like, just tell me because I get it. I know something with me is not right. He literally spoke to me that it was my mindset. Like he started giving me scriptures about thoughts and about thinking on the right things and reprogramming my mind. And I went to church to a women's conference night, and they had a lady by Dr. Caroline Leaf there, and she wrote this book, Switch on Your Brain. And it talks all about the brain and our minds and how our thoughts control our actions. And, you know, if I'm being really transparent with you guys, I had a really jacked up mindset. I didn't believe in myself. Even at Emearld, I did not believe in myself. I spoke to myself worse than anyone else would have ever spoken to me. I confessed things that were negative. I spoke negatively over my business. I spoke negatively over myself. And I really, truly just did not believe in myself, y'all. That's what I mean by a messed up mindset. And guess what? My thoughts told my body what to do. So I was self-sabotaging. I was literally doing what my brain was telling it to do. Oh, well, you're not good enough. Oh, well, you can't do this. Oh, well, I mean, it's just never going to happen for you. Your points are just going to go backwards. And all of those things that I was meditating on came to pass. That's terrible, right? And so here's where the breakthrough happens. I get that book, Switch on Your Brain. I read it. I started understanding how the mind works biblically and how it ties into science. It's all biblically based. But then the book that really changed my life is this book, and you may have read it, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. This book, go out and buy it tomorrow. If you don't have it, you can buy it at the bookstore. This will change your whole entire life, not just your business, your family life, you as a wife or a husband, as a parent. This book will help you to understand mindset, and it gives you the tools and shows you exactly how to change it through affirmations, through changing the way that you think, through reprogramming your brain. And I started immediately. I made new affirmations about my life. I started confessing those things every day, all day long. And within a few weeks, I'm telling you, this isn't spooky stuff right here. This is legit. Within a few weeks, I started to see my brain, my stinking thinking reversed. And I started to see results in my business and my personal life. And I came out of that wall, y'all, and I'm going to be honest with you. I got to Emearld and my points went backwards. Just because you get to Jewel status doesn't mean that you've got it made. It doesn't. Anything can happen. So I get my mind right, you guys, and I got my points back, and my points started soaring forwards. Okay? It was like a miracle. It really was. But my mindset had to change. And I will be honest with you, that I apply this still in any situation in my life. I use the same principles to overcome, because now I truly understand how powerful the mind is. The mind is so powerful. Our thoughts are so powerful. They control everything. Listen, they do. You've got to bring it under control. And the way you do that is you learn about it a little bit, and then you apply the principles in this book, and they're biblical, okay? So it's not this weird stuff. This is biblical stuff right here, and this is something that will change your life. When people ask me, Betsy, what's your top tip? If you were to say, Betsy, what is literally your top business tip that you could give me? And I promise you, it will always be mindset, because I could tell you all the details of what I've done. I could give you the ins and the outs and all this stuff. But if you don't have a right mindset, that's only going to take you so far. Okay? But if you really, really have the correct mindset and the right beliefs about yourself and about what you're doing, the sky is truly the limit. You can make it to diamond, literally to diamond, with the right mindset and less skills. Okay? Truly, truly, truly. I'll close with this, and then you can open it up for some questions, Misty. Becoming a Jewel was a huge accomplishment for me. But more than anything, it was the lessons learned on the way to being a Jewel. I'm not through yet. I will be diamond. And I'm not saying that out of cockiness, but it's the right mindset, right? But here's the deal. It's not always about the destination, but it's about the journey to get to the destination. Had I have become a Jewel when I really wanted to, I would have missed the most important lessons in my life. I would not be able to sit on this team call and speak into your lives. I wouldn't be the leader that I am today, and I'm still growing. Trust me, every day I'm learning things that I don't need to do and things I do need to do. So I'm not saying I'm like John Maxwell here. But what I am saying is that I've learned so many things on my journey. It took me 3 years and 3 months to go Emearld. Some people, I had friends like Corinne and Alyssa. We became really good friends all at Senior Ruby. And like 5 or 6 months after we became friends, they're Emearld and then Sapphire and then Diamond. I was happy for them, but it was a little tough, because I had been in this longer. I was working my butt off, and I was just like, why? Why not me? Well, here's the deal. I had to learn some things that they might have already had, we all come into this journey at different places, different networks, different skill sets, different mindsets. So one thing that I will encourage you, and this is something that I still battle with frequently, just being real, is not comparing yourself to other people. That is the biggest trap that you could fall in this business, is because it's easy to look at other people and their journey and to say, baby, go in your room. I'll be there in a minute. I will. I'll be there in a minute. Okay. Give me 2 minutes. Go. Okay, I'll be there in a second. Liberty, I love you. I'm almost done. Okay? Here, take my phone. Shut my door.
Hey, we get it all the time.
I had to bribe her for a second. The comparison is the thief of joy, and even as a jewel, I have to slap myself sometimes and tell myself not to do it because my journey is my journey. My journey isn't Misty's journey. My journey isn't Alyssa's journey. My journey isn't Corinne's journey. And the moment that I ever get off track with that is the moment I start to get discouraged and bewildered. But the moment that I put my blinders back on and I start running my own race, that is the moment that I start seeing breakthrough in my business. When I get into personal activity myself and stop worrying about who's having results, who's doing this, who's ranking mates, and all that, that's not my business. The only reason that's my business is for me to say congratulations and I'm happy for you. Other than that, I can't park it there because that's only going to drag me down and suck the life out of me. So don't compare. If you're in that comparison trap right now, snap yourself out of it. Put your blinders back on like horses in a race, because horses in a race, if they didn't have the blinders on, they would wreck. They would run into each other. They would run off the course. And that's what happens, right? When we start comparing ourselves to other people, we get off course. We become a train wreck, right? We're like, I'm never going to be this person. Well, you're right. You're never going to be that person. And you shouldn't be. God created you to be you. He gave you each qualities that he didn't give the other person and vice versa. And so stay the course and put your blinders on and run your own race. I promise you, if you will do that, you will do so awesome in this business. So that's all I got for you guys.
I don't want it to end. You're so inspiring, Betsy. I know that my team, if you guys want to say it in the comments, something to her, we do have 7 minutes to open up for questions before we will just disappear. But Betsy, oh my gosh, I'm taking notes. I want to rewind and listen to this again, and I will definitely be sharing with my team. But it is so, I don't know, I have hope. Like you gave me hope that, because I am going to be in my 2 years, and, you hear about, oh yeah, you Emearld about 12 months, and, and I see Julie Adams, she's our upline, and she goes crazy, senior gold from the first month, So it is so inspiring to just hear that, and you're so right. That book, if you don't have it, and we have done a book club with our whole, Living the Pink Life. And it was pretty amazing. And I actually want to read that one again too. Anybody have questions? We have 6 minutes. Just unmute yourself.
Excuse me.
Missy, thank you. So inspiring. Yes.
Thanks, y'all. So glad I was able to help out.
Oh my gosh. So I know many of you might have questions. This is a time to pick our brain.
Sometimes I know people get shy, at this part.
So Betsy, I know you're really busy with 3 kids, but we're really working on follow-up type things right now, and we're kind of doing that daily stack. I don't know if you've heard of it, but we're doing that. But I'm just kind of curious, truly, how much time do you feel like you really sit down and work your business daily?
That varies depending on if I have my 2 littles by my side or if they're at Mother's Day out. It really just varies. When I was going Emearld, it might scare you if I tell you how long I would sit down and did work. But when I was going Emearld, because I had made up my mind that December, I was at senior gold, that I was going to be Emearld by July. I was going to Maui that year, no questions asked. And so that's pretty much senior gold to Emearld in 7 months. I was probably working 8 to 10 hours a day. That wasn't all sitting down at my desk, but a lot of it was. I was doing three-way chats. I was doing welcome calls. I was doing it was nuts. I don't work that much now, 8 to 10 hours a day. Now today has been kind of busy, but I did a vendor event and stuff like that. I would really like to get a good 4 to 5 hours in at my desk if that were possible. But right now I'm in the search of a nanny again. We moved. When I had a nanny, I would sit down and work a good 4 to 5 hours concentrated. Then when my kids would go to bed, I would come back to the office and finish up some things that I needed to finish up. So, right now it's just kind of all over the place, if I'm being honest with you, because of we moved and we don't have a lot of help as far as like nanny goes. But as soon as I get a nanny again, I'm going to really be like doing it. I do IPAs every day. As far as like reaching out, following up, those sending samples out and stuff like that. That should always be your number one thing every day. And I'm sure that is what y'all's are. But as an Emearld, that's still like the number one thing that drives my business is my personal business going.
Yeah. And, and it's really important that the rest of you guys know too, like they shared at Leaders Retreat, and we kind of give you a little snippet of just what we knew, but you have to remember where she's at in her business is you're going to give a little bit more time probably for the activities, the team building, the leadership stuff. So don't let that scare you. I mean, some of you maybe are just new, or you're silver, and maybe 30 minutes to an hour is what you're doing. But when
Absolutely.
we get that piece that will be in our back office, that is going to be really, really good. So it lets you know, like at your stage, about what you should be doing. And it kind of like they had this pie chart and everything of how much time you should have in leadership versus reaching out and things like that. And it's going to change as the higher you get up. So I would expect that probably more out of, your, at the Emearld state, but like most of my team are probably gold and below.
Oh, okay. So just to put it in perspective, when I was gold and below, I don't know, maybe an hour a day, maybe. I mean, even if you can do your IPAs in 30 minutes each day. You can get the meat and the potatoes of this done in 30 minutes when you're starting out. But when you have a team, I have a team of a lot of people. And when you're on your way to Sapphire, you're really having to, like Misty said, don't compare your time to my time, because that would be crazy. Wherever you are, income producing activities, just chisel away at those. People starting out for me, they can get that done in 30 minutes. 30 minutes, get the meat and the potatoes out of the way.
Yeah, and real quick, I have 2 minutes. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it. I'll just share it another time because I don't want to run out of time. But I want to thank you again. The rest of you, I'm going to unmute so we can all say thank you. And Betsy, I'll be in contact, I'm sure. I'd love to share things with you just as a sideline sister, and give us some hope. And I will, let the team know too, anything that you share with us. So let me unmute all of them here in a minute. Unmute all. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much for having me. Thanks, Misty. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure, y'all. Talk to you soon.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.